So we now move on to the type fours. We call them the individualists, the original person, tragic, romantic. So all these terms can be a little difficult to understand, especially because things like this are usually used sometimes in drama and so forth. But for the fours, if we can just recall, they're very creative, innovative, they're quite different, they're quite unique. They tend to delve into things which other people don't, because there's a part of them that feels like they don't belong in this world. Okay, so it's a bit unusual, but the good side of them is that they're very creative. I think Steve Jobs definitely had some four in him, right? Definitely. Hence, when it comes to designing, when it comes to creating, they got the best gifts. Fours want to make the world a much more beautiful place, be different, stand out. Hence, the focus of attention is what is missing and will I be rejected? Unconscious childhood message. This is a kind of message that they grow up with in their life without even thinking about it. It's not okay to be too functional or too happy. That sounds a bit strange because most of us want to be a lot happier. But fours have got this tendency to feel like something is wrong in my life, something is missing. So they're always in a state of longing. Longing simply means how I wish, I wish things were this way, how I wish things were that way. So hence, hardly satisfied with status quo. So some of the strengths, original, good taste, all these very exquisite kinds of descriptors, right? But they've got some really nice descriptors here, like compassionate. They can tell when someone is not feeling good, when someone is emotionally not well. They've got a very high emotional intuition, this ability to just read people's emotions well. Very cultured because they like drama. Not all of them, just in case you have a type 4, does not mean you will tick every box. Okay, so this is important for everyone to understand. You will not tick every single box, but if you're high on a certain number, you will tick quite a lot of the boxes, okay, but not all. When they overuse this, then they become snobbish, attention demanding. They want people to listen to them. They want people to give them attention. Their emotional system within a day can be quite unpredictable, right? So they can be up and down, happy, really happy and loud, and then sad and morose, or what we call quiet and sad. Quite guilt-ridden. Somehow there's a lot of guilt that they feel within themselves because maybe they feel like something is wrong. They've not handled things well. They tend to criticize themselves quite a bit and so forth, right? So there's quite a few descriptors here. Now, when a 4 is relaxed, because remember, against the flow of the arrow is what we call the relaxed line. When a 4 is relaxed, they can finally get into action because the 1s are about taking action and correcting things, whereas 4s are very emotional. So in a healthy side, they can be very balanced, and that is emotional plus taking action, making things right, doing things properly. But when they are stressed up, they suddenly forget about themselves and they start to focus on other people. It's a kind of distraction. Forget about me. Let me just serve. Let me just look into other people's needs. And that means they've kind of rejected their own needs, right? So that's what we call the stress line. Okay, so some different ways we can remember a 4. Do take note that they are always thinking what's missing. So in a conversation, or maybe when they think about you, they may nitpick, right? And say, okay, what's missing? Because they're always longing for something better, always thinking what can be better, what can be a lot more attractive. So besides that, there's this feeling that they sometimes feel abandoned, like nobody cares for them, nobody looks into their emotional needs. So sometimes there's this feeling of sadness, quite frequently with some 4s. Unpredictable emotional system, this up and down emotional system, these are the parts which are not so good. Sweet sadness, they're comfortable with sadness, which is good, right? Because when you're comfortable with sadness, you can dig into the depths of your emotions and slow things down and see what's missing, what's not good, what's bad, and they reflect really very well. So 4s are very reflective, and that means they're very insightful as well. When you reflect a lot and you allow your body to slow down quite a bit, you get yourself to see things which most people can't see. So we call that sweet sadness. Tragic, romantic, they can overemphasize emotions or dramatize emotions. Maybe sadness can sometimes turn into grief, or happiness can sometimes turn to joy. They can make situations more emotionally intense, more exciting, more joyful, or more intense and more sad, right? So tragic, romantic, that's what it's called. They want to be different. They want to stand out. Like Michael Jackson is a hardcore type 4, right? Wanting to be different, wanting to be quite elite. Nobody of his kind. So hence 4s are very unique people, right? Their tastes, their homes, what they like. They tend to have a kind of push and pull feeling. And that is, they sometimes would want to be close to you, but when you get too close, there's this fear that I may lose you. So then they kind of push you away. Now, some of the positive aspects of the 4, of course, creative, innovative, different, emotionally sensitive. They can be very empathic and compassionate, right? So remember, each type, there are some good qualities and some not so good qualities. All right. And last but not least, highly emotionally intuitive. I mentioned that just now.